All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are multiple forms in which you can enjoy this content on. But my favorite is the blog. And the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. I know that's a lot to remember or to type in. So wherever you are interacting with this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. If you activate that, another box opens and a link to the blog is there. The free blog, you don't even have to put in your email address. So all the articles are there. And that also, if you give me about 10 minutes after I post or make the blog live, well, depending on how much trouble YouTube gives me, but anyway, then I put the video on the blog as well. So then you can read along, follow along with where I am. And some people like that. Plus, I only highlight the portions of the article that I think is important, but you may read articles and find other parts that are important to you. And it's I don't really mean important, but maybe something that will help you to see where we are, that we're in a place we've never been before, I think, and hold on, right? While we wait. Okay. All right. So the other thing is thank you for the likes. The thumbs up really help. At 11 minutes and 11 seconds, a little icon pops up in the right hand corner. If you'd like to subscribe on YouTube anyway, that's there. You just tap on that. And Spotify.com, I want to say thank you. You can catch my FX Buddies there, right? And they have video and audio depending on your subscription level. All right, so today is Friday. It's Friday, July 18th, and this should be short, okay? Because there's not a whole lot. Now there's a whole blog page of articles, but why? Because what do I like to do? I like to provide different articles because they're formatted different, they're in different fonts, whatever. But people have told me, when I read this article, I didn't get it, but when I read this one, it made sense to me. And I'm the same way. Sometimes I read like 12 articles on the same subject, just to get a better understanding. And especially this oil stuff. Ugh, it's so boring. And then every day it changes. Another little tidbit of information comes out. But, that just means we're another step closer, right? So it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not. I'm just stating the way things are. All right? Okay, so Kurdistan salaries set to arrive. Baghdad X. Now, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say the delay is because of the 3-day mourning period, right? But I don't know. It's all of that is still suspicious to me, but whatever. I mean, it did happen and people did, meet their demise, but anyway, all right. So, but the real title of this article is Baghdad extends its hand and Kurdistan salaries are knocking at the door at the beginning of the week, and it was urgent when this was published, and so this says yesterday, but at the time that I pulled this up, it was already tomorrow over there. So that's why I have the date here. And I also might start posting timelines, because if one article comes out and then 2 hours later another article comes out, why read the first one, right? So, yeah, but that's me. But we'll see. Okay, so it says an informed source, of course, right, revealed Friday the date for sending salaries of Kurdistan regional employees and their funding by the federal government, that it would be Sunday. So Sunday is the day. Well, it's actually their full day back to work, right? And it's the day, well, actually, I think Saturday, the 3 days of mourning is over. So Sunday, they'll go back to work. Yeah, so they're sending that 952 billion dinars. And then it says the May lists are ready and June salaries will be audited next week with payouts expected within a full week at most. So, and then I was informed that I may not get like that notice right there. I may not get that in the future because remember I said I was looking for that announcement. Hey, they sent the money, and then the Kurds say, yes, we got it. And then they show the people going to the ATMs to get their money. Well, since now it seems the money's going to go directly to the employees' accounts in that system, right? That my account system, they may not always announce that the money's been sent. So I may not get that, is what someone told me, and I trust them. And but we'll see. So I'll be looking on Sunday to see if they're showing images, footage, whatever, of the people going to the ATMs. I hope. I hope I am. Okay, and so here, this is good news also. Whoever that guy is, Lammy, the federal government's decision regarding the region's oil is a victory for the Constitution and a step towards justice and transparency. But they mean Iraq's Constitution, not ours, even though we did help them write it. So yeah, so you can read that if you like. I just, it's important because if it's not per the Constitution, the politi- politicians that want to cause trouble, they will, right? They can say it's not constitutional, federal case, and they can slow things up, right? But now that things have been done correctly per the Constitution, those troublemakers, and you know, I really shouldn't call them troublemakers because you should go by the Constitution, right? Anyway, so yeah, so here, this is the best paragraph. We in the House of Representatives consider this step a victory for the Constitution, and we affirm our full support for the government in implementing the decision in all its details without any compromise in order to preserve the rights of the people of the South and Center. Because we only hear about Kurdistan, right? But everyone wants to get their rights. And listen to this, who have long suffered from the lack of justice in the distribution of wealth. So see, they're waiting for, you think we're going to get paid. They're waiting for years of back pay. Yeah. So, all right. So then, this is another one. We can skip this one, but there was, so now see how this SOMO is involved, and there is something they're going to audit. I guess the numbers per barrel, and some of it is going to go to them. So now they're in the mix too. So that's why things take so long. But I guess, you know, they have to do that. So this article is a nice little snippet, concise. It has bullet points. And I know there's people out there who like those types of articles. So here it is. It's titled Iraqi Cabinet Approves Measures on Kurdish Oil Delivery. All right. So if you want to read that there, you can. See, there's the bullet points and that. Now, I thought this was hilarious. So it's almost like, remember we just caught you smuggling that oil, right? Yeah, someone has to account for that. Who's accounting for those barrels of oil? Like, you thought we forgot, didn't you? Yeah, so that's why that came out today. So they really are getting down to crossing I's and dotting T's. Nope, I said that backwards, didn't I? Crossing Look, cross-eyed. What is it? Dotting I's and crossing T's. So I like that. I like that that came out. Okay, so this came out. Oh, I didn't do the time. This, and I like this. I mean, okay, well, I don't like it, but this is from an outside source. This is from Transport and Pipelines, and they are an organization. Did I close it? I think I did. I closed it. Yeah. They go around the world looking at pipelines. So, um, so they're like kind of like the IEAE people with the nuclear stuff. Yeah, that's kind of like them. So they say, Kurdish oil is not ready. It's not resuming anytime soon. There's no preparation yet for pipeline restart. So, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? That makes a pretty picture. But, oh, I did put the time. Okay, so this came out Friday, 11:30 in the morning. And I saw it through Reuters, whatever. So it says a restart of Iraq's Kurdish oil exports is not imminent. Sources close to the matter said on Friday, despite Iraq's federal government saying on Thursday that shipments would resume immediately. So they're like, yeah, we heard you. And we're like, what pipeline are they looking at? So that's there. And then even on Friday, the Epicor guy, a group of oil companies working in Kurdistan, said that a restart depended on the receipt of written agreements. So I'm thinking Epicor has not gotten what they wanted yet. And remember, 3 of the fields are shut down right now. Okay, but we got some developments on that. So hang on. Oh, I should have said this is going to be a boring one, but just hang on, okay? Because it's going to get better. All right. So there was, oh, okay. So just so you know, we're not the only ones watching this. China is watching this. What is this? Oh, yeah, okay. That, we'll look at that later. Maybe even not. Look, this is a Chinese source. Uh, it comes up in English. So is it really Chinese? I don't know. But they report. So maybe this group reads Chinese news. This Xinhua, I believe that's how you say that. Xinhua. Maybe this group, they read the news in Chinese and then maybe they put it out for English. Because I don't think every Chinese person in the world speaks Chinese, right? Right? I mean, especially if they're born here. I don't know. Because I met a guy who was Chinese who spoke, uh, he lived in Louisiana, so he talked like the Louisianians. His first language was Spanish. Yeah, Spanish and then English and then, that not patois, that's Jamaica. The language they have in Louisiana. It's escaping me, which I don't know how to speak that either. Anyway, so China's watching the aggression, the drone aggression against the radar and the oil fields. And, oh no, I closed the other one. Shoot. Macau. Macau. I love saying Macau. I had an article from them also. Well, shoot. See, I meant to close this one. Oh no, this is it. This is it. See, Macau. So this is a website, a news website in Macau, and they are following. Yes, here you get early. Iraq says the drones that struck military radars are foreign made. So Sudani very quickly put out a report. But let's do one more. So here they're talking about those, what I just said, right? And if you're looking, you can see scones, phones, cones, right? Okay, and then here's another. This is from Arab News Today. That's the name. And if you click that link right there, it'll take you there. So they're reporting the same thing. Iraq's Kurdish oil exports restart is not imminent. So it doesn't mean it can't start next week. It's just like not happening today, right? So, see, here is, but on Friday, a source at Epicur, a group of oil companies working in Kurdistan, said that a restart depended on the receipt of written agreements. So there has been no preparation for a restart. So, that's what they're saying, right? That's what they want us to believe. So, yeah. And then here's another. Kurdistan oil exports not expected to resume. All right. So if you want to read those, you can. All right. Here's my one commercial. And I promise I am not going to sell you coffee or gold or food. I am just going to deliver articles. Okay? You guys are funny. You guys are funny. The stuff you send me. Anyway, all right. So, but if you'd like to support me, here's all the ways. Well, that looks funny. Well, that looks purple to me, but I didn't change the color on that. Whatever. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I need a little bit of sleep. All right. But anyway, so yeah. So when this is live, that'll be a live link. Cash App is always live, and PayPal. And thank you in advance. All right. So here. Now I think this is the best news of the day. Iraq uncovers source of there's two words right there together I don't want to say. Scones, phones, cones, aggression. And they vow legal action. But it still doesn't say who. They found the origin of them, and that they were equipped with the three-letter word, but I say aggression, conflict. Yeah, they had those on them of varying weights. They were manufactured outside of Iraq. They know that. So I'm sure they don't have all the details in here, but it says these cowardly acts of aggression represent a blatant violation of national sovereignty. No party, whether domestic or foreign, will be permitted to undermine Iraq's security and stability. So yeah, so they're still not saying who did it. No one is claiming responsibility. So, I say it's time to go pick up some known militia people and just torture them. Torture them until they tell you, right? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just making sure you're still listening. But what are they going to do? And back in the day, that is what they would have done too. So yeah, I don't know. How do they do that? How do they figure out who is doing it? And so we'll see. Matter of fact, I don't think now today was a holy day, and sometimes some violence. I probably shouldn't even say that word either, but they won't do it on the holy day, right? Some groups will honor the holy day. All right, so we'll see what happens over the weekend, and they were on TV. Probably this guy here, Commander. Well, that's Sadani, but there were people in camouflage with lots of stuff on their chests, and they were talking on television. So I presume it was probably about this. Yeah. So they think they know. They found them by caves and all this stuff. So if you want to read this, you can. It's there for you. But listen to this. It says the recent targeting of oil facilities and fields and some attempts to target bases and camps are a heinous and dangerous uh, aggression that undermines all efforts aimed at stabilizing Iraq and campaigns for construction and development. The security services will pursue all those who tamper with the country's security capabilities and supreme interests, or those cooperating with them, and bring them to justice to receive their just punishment. Yes, I like it. So, also, in addition to announcing that, they announced the results of this thing here. This was a radar. It was really fancy. And yeah, look what happened to it. So it was a kablooied, no longer in working order. And so confirming that the scones, foams, cones that did that were launched within Iraq. So yeah, there you go. Again, how do you find that, right? And then here's another. Iraq reveals the parties involved in pinpointing the radar. So there's probably us. We're probably involved in that. Turkey is probably involved in that. Trying to figure out who's doing it. So, see, we're not the only. I mean, just as badly as we want this to go forward, there's people that don't want it to go forward. And they're willing to cause international, right? International conflicts over it. So just remember that. All right, what it says here's more about the tariffs and the strategic framework, and use it as an opportunity to make Iraq exempt. So if you want to read that, that's short. And here's a temporary solution for the 2025 budget deficit. And is this Mohammed Saleh? Who wrote this? No, economic expert Ahmed Al-Tamimi. There's lots of smart Al-Tamimis. They're lawyers, they're economic experts. I'm not saying they are related, but that name, I mean, how can you forget that name? Tamimi, right? So, yeah. There's female ones, there's male ones. There's some of them in parliament. So, yeah. But anyway, so Ahmed is usually a he. He's got an idea and he shares it. And if you'd like to read that, you can. And then this was really big news. Matter of fact, this started off the morning. And this is the last article. Yeah. Oh, no. There's my buddy. He's the last article. Yeah. All right. So, Rapidon Bank launches electronic inquiry service via the AUR platform. Now, I just got this. I chose this one because it was very simple, which is good for me. Simple is good for me. Bullet point, and yeah. But some of the articles just had UR, and UR is something over there because there's a port called UR. I'm saying the letter U and the letter R. So I'm not sure what this platform's called, if it's AUR or UR, but whatever. It's launched today, but they probably have been working on it and testing it. So an electronic inquiry service via the platform. And then you see he's got his cell phone there. He's got a pad and paper and the image there on his laptop. Okay, so they launched an electronic inquiry service via the government's AUR or UR platform, enabling customers to inquire online about a range of basic banking topics. And, I won't go into because it's, check their balance, transactions, salary disbursement details. So, probably all the details of their account and their debit cards, right? Because they don't have checks. They use their debit cards or they. Oh, I don't want to see that. Oh my gosh. I know I didn't want to see that. They just showed these two young guys jumping off a building. Anyway, sorry about that. See, that's why I shouldn't be watching. But you know what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking something to do with the Kurdistan money. Anyway, I knew I didn't want to see that. That's my phone. All right, so also deductions, they can track the deductions. So imagine when they start taking taxes, and also, I'm sure it's going to happen to some people if they don't pay their loans, they're probably going to deduct the loan payment automatically. Uh, yeah, so you could read this here. A lot of stuff, a lot of things that back in the day, you would go to a bank branch and ask, hey, can you look this up for me? Can you explain this charge? Right? But now what? They make you do it online, right? Okay, so here is, I hope they have his name. He's the spokesman for the the Houthis. No, they don't have his name. But yeah, look at the time. They waited till Holy Day was over. Do you see that? So July 19th, midnight 06, and they started dropping kablooies on Ice Cream Land. And he comes, so this is the guy. When I say, oh, the H-Man is on TV screaming, that's him. I don't know why they don't have his name. It's like Yahya Shara or something like that. But I don't see his name there. Anyway, so, and then another thing, but I don't see anyone talking about it. I'm only seeing it in the Kurdish news, and it's just a little blurb. It said that there's a ceasefire between Ice Cream Land, Syria, and that we helped set it. I mean, if that's true, that's like big news. So, but maybe because there were other more prominent news announcements like the Genius Law and, other things, maybe they're not, it's low priority. But yeah, so I'm also going to look to see if I see an article about that because I think that's a good thing. Plus, I mean, they just did that horrendous kablooey to them. So kind of like a surrender. It's probably more than, it's not just a ceasefire. It's probably more like a surrender. But anyway, so we'll see. All right. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your weekend. At this point, I don't think I'm going to post tomorrow, but that's why you should subscribe, join, follow, tap the bell, whatever, because I don't post regularly. So when I do, if you've done those actions, supposedly, you get notified when I update. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to. I'm still gonna look at articles and stuff, but I don't think there'll be anything worth posting about. So enjoy your weekend. We'll come back Sunday. I bet you there'll be stuff to post Sunday. I didn't get any rate quotes on the parallel market today, but that doesn't surprise me. Still no sightings of Aaliyah Locke, the CBI governor. Yeah. All right. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time.